Alright, YouTube, what do you do? It's T-Boys back right here. It's Tuso.
Sub and Tumelo once
again. Alright, and today we're gonna be reacting to a Piers Morgan video where he interviews Andrew Tate. So, wanna get to it? Let's go.
Let's go.
Andrew Tate's the most famous man you've probably never heard of, but the chances are your children will have. Videos of Tate have been viewed billions of times online. He's built an enormous following of mostly young men, and his often scandalous views about women that have made him notorious across the world. Views like this.
So I think my sister is her husband's property, yes. When a bride is walking down the aisle to marry the groom, the father walks next to her and gives her away. True or false?
Tate's opinions on mental illness are equally controversial.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very blunt way to look at it.
Yeah, but normally, like what he said about in a wedding, obviously the father's gonna take the bride, walk down, and then give her to the groom. But the father's gonna make sure that the groom's gonna take care of the daughter.
Yeah, like that. But obviously it's a funny way of him looking at it, like calling her property.
Yeah, most people think that she's a property, but not really. She's still a person.
Yeah, most people think she's a person, not a property.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why him saying that is funny.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, let's get back to it.
Controversial.
I don't believe in depression. Don't message me about depression because I don't believe in it. If you're asleep in your bed in the middle of the night and you hear a noise and you believe in ghosts, now you're afraid. But if you don't believe in ghosts, it's the wind and you go back to sleep. You give the ghosts power by believing in them.
Exactly.
Well, this summer, every major social media
platform
banned Tate amid a global backlash and concerns about his influence on the young people who watch him. But copies of his videos are still shared millions of times every day. This show is called Uncensored. One of the challenges views directly, so he flew from Romania to sit here in this studio, and the full explosive interview airs later this week. Here's a bit of what's to come. Do you respect women?
Absolutely. Why wouldn't I?
Do you think that 18, 19-year-old women are more attractive than 25-year-old women?
I think there's attractive people. That's a loaded question. I don't know.
Well, it's not really, is it?
I can't.
You know why I'm asking you?
Of course I do, but I can't sit here and
say. For
the
the benefit of viewers who don't know why I'm asking, you said this. In general, this is also one of the reasons men find youth attractive. You want to blow up the internet? I'll blow up the internet right effing now. The reason 18 and 19-year-olds are more attractive than 25-year-olds is because they've been through less dick. People say, oh, you can't say that. But yes, I can. A 19-year-old is more attractive than a 26-year-old woman, and I'll tell you why. Because that 26-year-old has talked to more guys, been to the club more times, been effed and dumped more times, more arguments, more mess, more for me to clean up. That...
Yeah. I mean, we cannot deny that.
No.
We can't deny that.
No.
Yeah. I do agree with what he said about 18-year-olds. Basically younger, let's say from 18 to 20. Overall, more attractive. It's not just the looks that counts. It's also that, like, the youthfulness, and also they've been less through life than, let's say, the 26-year-old. They haven't been exposed that much to the club and then all that stuff, right?
And their body count is lower as well.
Yes.
Much lower.
And plus, if we end up looking back throughout history, there's also reasons why women, like I think it was from 14 to 18, they tend to get married at that certain age, because the younger the age would be, the better it would be.
Yeah, they used to do that stuff.
Yes.
All days.
That's how it would be. This is biology. Plus, it's a better way for us to ensure that the younger she is, the better that she can give birth, right?
Yeah.
To children.
Yeah.
That's the youthfulness about it. Plus, it's a more secure way of ensuring that for us men is that she hasn't gone through that much bodies. I would agree with that.
Because it's like as if, I know a lot of people they'll be seeing this as like we're treating a woman like a product.
No. Yes, this is what we think like that.
Like we're treating it like a product, you know. But the whole thing of him saying this is that I even heard a crazy fact where where this guy, this YouTuber said that a woman's prime in terms of her beauty is between the ages of 18 to 25.
That's right.
So round about there. So we get why he's saying this.
Yes.
You see.
If you actually look through biology and people actually understood it,
Yeah.
then it would make sense.
Yeah, that don't make sense, man.
Is misogyny.
Why?
Because you are encouraging a mindset about 25-year-old women that makes them sound out to be infinitely less desirable than 18, 19-year-olds, and having effectively been having too much sex to be taken in a more respectful way.
That would, well, firstly, even if that was the case, that wouldn't be misogyny.
But what did you mean by what you said?
That's not misogyny because it's not anti-women. I'm saying that an 18 or a 19-year-old woman would be more desirable.
Pretty
than someone-
anti-25-year-old women.
Anti-25-year-old women we can argue, but not misogyny.
Well, that's misogyny then, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Well, being anti any woman at all is misogyny.
Not when I'm saying that women are beautiful and attractive at a certain age and saying the age.
You're
is
saying
different.
18, 19-year-olds are more attractive than 25.
Well, then ageist perhaps, but misogynistic absolutely
Is that
not.
really? But you just accepted it was misogyny.
No, I didn't. You said it was misogyny. I'm telling you, no, it's not.
If a 26-year-old woman is watching this and has heard those comments,
Yeah.
would you just say to her, look, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
No, I won't. I will say that I am sorry that offends you. However, there's a large contingent of the world.
That doesn't
and-
mean you're sorry.
No, I'm not sorry. That's the point I'm making. I'm sorry if that offends you. However, there's a large contingent of the world that believe that, and I was mediating for a.
Why should he be sorry, you know?
Yeah, at least he's been honest.
In fact, he is in a way, in this report, in this news guy's mind, he's too blunt.
Well, blunt. He's more trying to get at him, because the thing is this: he's thinking about Tate be trying to be misogynist, trying to see. He's thinking that a 25-year-old is not attracted at all. No, Tate, he never said that. Well, Tate never said that a 25-year-old is not attractive, because obviously we have seen like 25-year-old women that are still attractive, but it's just that a 19-year-old would be considered more attractive to us men in general, because it's not just the looks, it's because of the youthfulness, the youth, and plus the purity as well that comes there.
Yeah, now what I'm saying is that with him, this guy, I think even if there's a case where he's smart enough to understand exactly what he's saying, where I think he's still going to reject this based off he's leading from emotions as well.
Yes, but also another theory is that he's trying to go against what Andrew Tate is saying, possibly because he doesn't want to lose his job. Deep down, he might agree with Andrew Tate, but he doesn't want to say it.
Yeah,
because,
there's an agenda that this news channel have.
yes, a pure agenda that.
Against them, because it just doesn't go well with the audience. So you have to go with the audiences, what the audiences want.
And plus, if he went with Andrew Tate, then he ends up losing his job. And plus, the whole network is gonna go down. Then it's gonna be cancelled. So of course, he has to disagree. But I'm sure in private, he would agree. Like Piers Morgan would absolutely mostly agree. Like if he saw like a 19-year-old right now, between like a 25.
World that believe that about 26-year-old women.
Like if he saw a 19-year-old and then you have a 25-year-old, obviously, as many, we were more likely to go for the younger one.
Yeah,
that's how it is. That's how it is.
Would you just say to her, look, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
No, I won't. I will say that I am sorry that offends you. However, there's a large contingent of the world.
That doesn't
and-
mean you're sorry.
No, I'm not sorry. That's the point I'm making. I'm sorry if that offends you. However, there's a large contingent of the world that believe that, and I was mediating for a conversation.
Parts of the world that believe that about 26-year-old women are parts of the world where women are not allowed out on their own.
That's a conversation.
They have to wear full burqas.
Well, that's a conversation
They're not
to
allowed
have.
to drive cars.
That's nothing to do with me.
But is that the kind of world for women that you
I was mediating.
applaud?
I was mediating a conversation.
No, I'm asking you what you think.
Why is he interrupting, man? You see, he's trying to give his point and then he's still interrupting him.
like a softie.
I know. And the point is trying to say like, oh, but there's parts in the world where women have to wear fully clothed and then they can't drive cars. Well, to me, it's that in the Eastern world,
Middle East.
in the Middle Eastern world,
Yeah,
I can't
Eastern
really
world.
say no because that's their rule. We can't change that. I mean, if it worked for them, then we can't complain about that. It's the
Yeah.
same thing about them wearing fully clothed, like the Balkan. Like you even see here in Cape Town as well. There's a reason why, because in their religion, it's required for the woman to wear that, and there's a reason why. Even like in the Bible, all the religious books, they said that women should be fully clothed because it protects them from not exposing themselves, because it's gonna lure more men into them like lustfully. It protects them from that.
It's actually a smart thing to do.
Yeah.
Because I always thought it was a weird thing when I was young. Certain ladies, they clothed up. The only skin that you see is their hands or their eyes.
100%.
They cover up the whole body.
But now it makes sense, man.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
I was mediating a conversation.
No, I'm asking you what you think.
I don't live in a country where that happens.
You're using that as the excuse for why you're not sorry for saying it.
It's not an
Is that
excuse.
there are parts of the world where this is fine?
My
So
friend.
my question to you is, well, do you think it's fine?
I don't think it's fine. I live in a world where
You don't think it's fine?
the reason
This
I
isn't that hard, Andrew. You can simply say, Piers, you know what? With the benefit of hindsight, I wish I hadn't said it like that. And if a 26-year-old woman's watching, I'm sorry I said that, because that actually is blatantly misogynist. And even though that's a view held by other parts of the world, it's not a view I share. Now, I would respect you more if you said that than if you try and say, well, it's said in other parts of the world, so I'm not sorry.
I think
That doesn't tell me what you think.
Then you need to understand why my content existed in the first place. My content existed because I tried my very hardest to be an absolute and utter realist, especially with uncomfortable truths. I was pointing out that very uncomfortable.
Is that a truth, then?
It's an uncomfortable truth in many parts of the world. It's not a truth that I'm happy about.
An inquest this week found that a 14-year-old girl, Molly Russell, died from an act of self-harm while suffering from depression and the negative effects of online content. The coroner said she was exposed to material that may have influenced her in a negative way, and in addition, what started as depression had become a much more serious depressive illness, and she very sadly took her life.
That's absolutely disgusting.
Right. Her father,
It's terrible.
Her father's campaign for better protections against potentially dangerous social media algorithms, right? It says that the particularly graphic content she saw romanticized acts of self-harm, normalized her condition, and focused on a limited and irrational view
Would be
without
like that look
any
he gave
counterbalance of normality.
Piers Morgan.
Yeah.
First of all, what is your response to that? Nothing to do with you. I'm
Yeah,
just asking what your response
that's the first thing. Yeah, it is nothing to do with me.
Okay, what I'm
The fact that a 14-year-old
it's sad for her to take on life because of what they see. Yes, it's like with kids, when you see you see the comments, yes, it's gonna hurt you, but what needs to be done to really prevent is to tell kids, like, listen, you see the comments, remember, these are from people that don't even know you, that never met you personally at all. Like, obviously they're doing this maybe just to get a reaction from you. And also we need to teach kids is that, like, listen, if we don't tell like kids that they're gonna get like this through the rest of their life, how are they gonna survive in the world? Because you're always gonna get some meaningful comments towards you, no matter what. So we cannot try to shield them and say that, oh, okay, let's not say meaningful things anymore. There's always gonna be meaningful things. We gotta tell people that you need to have a thick skin.
There's actually programs, cyberbullying programs.
Yeah.
That side, the western part of the world, they actually have these programs. And I remember with someone said that if you're someone that can't take negative comments from people, then it's like you're soft then.
Yeah. Or you just don't get involved with social media at all. If you cannot handle the responses that's coming to you, just do not get involved in it. And we need to teach children that, like, before you even get to social media, can you handle the responses, the negative?
Can you handle trollers out there?
Yes, there are people who do that just to troll you.
Yeah. Anyone can be a troll these days.
Yeah, but now the thing is this: since like what happened with this incident, they might possibly blame him for this, Tate, because of what, like, the influence.
They're trying to use him as a scapegoat.
Yeah, it's easy scapegoat.
The fact that a 14-year-old girl took her life is truly sad. The world we live in today is the world we live in. The fact that something like that happened is almost mind-blowing to me. That's truly sad. I actually feel sad inside to see something like that.
What has come clear to me in the interview is that a lot of things you say you wouldn't say now that you've said before.
But I'd say them differently, perhaps.
Yeah, right. So to me, that's an acceptance, not just that you want to get back on platforms, because maybe that was one of the reasons you were no platform, but that you've recognized and understood the potential harm to the wrong kind of impressionable mind by some of the things you've said. Would that be fair?
I think that's 80% fair. I recognize and understand that with massive fame, you have to be more careful about being misconstrued. Like I said earlier, 1% of people misunderstanding you doesn't matter with a small audience. It matters with a very large audience. With power comes responsibility. I still believe the things I say. I do not want to be a negative force for the world. I also understand that I am a man who's lived a very difficult, nuanced life, and I am capable of making nuanced points that may be misunderstood by teenagers. However, that can be said about anybody and everything. Every opinion.
Yeah, especially like if you look at his fans, most of them, you see how they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, very heavily influenced.
Yeah, young men
Yeah.
in particular. They're like his biggest fans, really.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like, it's very nice that you like get inspired from him. I understand it. Even for me, I like what he's doing. But at the same time, I'm not gonna view him as an idol, which many of these young guys do.
View him as a god.
Yeah, which many of these young guys do, which is a big mistake. It's a big mistake because we all have. He has flaws. We have flaws. Everyone has flaws. So
It said it somewhere in the Bible, Holy Bible. So don't have idols.
100%, man.
Yeah, I forgot which chapter.
Yeah.
Understood by children. Trying to protect children from the internet is a very interesting subject in and of itself, because I would argue that 80% of the content on the internet can be negative or detrimental to a young mind who doesn't understand the world.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. I think that throughout this interview Piers Morgan's trying to like take Tate back into like more so like in a fantasy world, right? Sure that Tate changes his views. But what I like about Tate is that he still stands on his views and like from what the shit he's gone through.
Anyone, okay, you guys, if you guys know that, if you guys don't know where he actually stays, he stays in this country, Romania, somewhere in Romania.
Yeah, Bucharest,
ne?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the Eastern world. So it's actually almost a complete different world than the Western world.
100%.
And I think where this video is taken, I think somewhere in UK.
Yeah, see, you're definitely
England.
Yeah, you're definitely
England, eh? So yeah, so their views, the Western, UK falls under the Western world.
Yeah.
So their viewpoints of life and all that is like, it's different from where Andrew Tate stays in. So this is why that it's two people from different parts of the world. Yet Andrew Tate grew up in England.
Yeah.
You see,
First in America, then he grew
first
up
in
there.
America, he was born there. Him and his whole family, and particularly him and his brother, which we're both fans of.
Yeah, because that's what I like about Best. What
Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate, yeah, those brothers. So, anyways, they have complete different points of views of the world. You got this one man, Piers Morgan. He's coming off as emotional.
Yes.
He's coming off as emotional.
And thing is, Andrew Tate, he still stood his ground. He's still like standing up for himself.
Ground, man.
Because what I've seen is this, that like once you start getting bigger and bigger with your own views, that the world, especially the people at the top, they will try to push your views down so that your views matches with theirs. Because it's all about the money. It's all about the money.
Yeah,
that's what it is. They don't want to lose advertising. They don't want to lose the sponsorships.
Yeah.
Because the moment that you say things that is completely different from their point of view, they're going to shut you down as much as possible. But it's a good thing that Andrew Tate stood up for himself, man. You know?
Yeah. And you see why he's popular still, even though his YouTube channel got cancelled.
Yeah. But anyway, that's the end of the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. You want to see more of these, hit the subscribe button down below. And if you like this video, press the like button. Anyway, this is Two Boys, man. We out.